If you've got a Tacoma, do you need a new Tacoma? Well, good morning, everybody. How are you today? Pretty good here, and that's right. If you've got a Tacoma, do you really need a new Tacoma? Now, what the heck am I talking about, right? Well, first of all, I'm not telling you shouldn't go buy a new Tacoma, right? But I'm kind of thinking about this, reflecting it towards myself, because I've done this so many times, spent so much money, it's insane. And I've been thinking, out of all those trucks I've bought in the past, maybe I didn't really need a new one. Maybe I needed to do something else. Maybe I didn't need that shiny new Tacoma because I have a perfectly good shiny Tacoma sitting in my garage. So this is what I'm talking about. Again, reflecting more towards myself, you do whatever you want to do. It's your money. But I got to thinking, by the time you go in, you're probably going to put something down, right? I mean, you're going to take your Tacoma in, you're going to trade it off, and you're probably going to put a little bit of cash down if you have to, right? I mean, and that's just more money that you're going to spend in the end. You've lost all that money that your truck has depreciated. Maybe you've even got it paid off, and now you're going to have a truck payment. Ugh, I know, I've done it, right? But I'm thinking, instead of doing that, wouldn't it be wiser, and I wish I was me talking to me back then, wouldn't it be wiser to keep what you have, Rob, and maybe do some mods to it, This was going back to the days before I started doing any kind of modding, right? But I could make that truck more of what I want it to be and maybe even make it more like the shiny new one that I'm looking to buy, right? I mean, I think a lot of times, at least, again, for me, talking about this from my perspective, it's out of boredom. You've had it for a while and you start to get bored with it. And, you hear about some of the features and things on the new trucks and you start to kind of belittle yours a little bit, like somehow it's not as good as those new trucks, right? Which, in fact, it's probably, especially with the Tacoma in the last, I don't know, forever, it's probably pretty close otherwise. Probably the same motor, probably the same transmission if you have a manual, probably a lot of the same options with just a few new bells and whistles, maybe a little bit bigger radio, maybe some camera somewhere that honestly you're probably never going to use, but it has all those little gadgets and things on it. And let's face it, we all like those things, right? I mean, we must, because Toyota doesn't change the Tacoma very often, right? It's been the third generation for generations, but people keep buying it. It is the #1 truck out there, right? So they must do enough as far as the little gadgets and little tweaks that they make, in addition to reliability and quality, of course, to keep people coming back. People like me who have had, 6 Toyota Tacomas. But I think modding the truck, it's kind of like a refresh, I mean, even, and I'll give you an example, even more recent for me, rather, was the sport bar that I just put on the back not too long ago, right? I mean, I had put a video out that I was getting a little bored with the truck. Now, it wasn't that I was going to trade it off or anything. I was just simply making an observation, a statement. I'm not looking to trade the truck. I wouldn't trade the truck. But putting that new sport bar on the back kind of freshened it up for me, right? It kind of made it a little more exciting for me. I don't know, maybe it's because I'm more of a sport truck kind of guy than an overland kind of guy, like I did a video about recently. But it kind of reinvigorated the truck for me, and it's a funny thing because it doesn't do anything. I mean, it doesn't make my truck faster. It doesn't make my truck more aerodynamic. It doesn't make my truck get better gas mileage. There's really no functional purpose to it other than its appearance, right? But that was enough for me. That was enough to re-excite me about my truck, because now I see it sitting out in the garage and I want to take it over the Gladiator. You know, and I use the Gladiator as a daily driver, right? Just to run little trips and things typically. I mean, I would take the Tacoma once in a while, but now I prefer to take the Tacoma. It's got that cool sport bar on it. It's a crazy thing, isn't it? You can do something as simple as that, and it just changes the whole world as far as how you think about it. Well, at least me anyway. And, you know, you can achieve that other ways too. I mean, let's say you don't want to do any mods or anything. You know, you could take your truck in, if it's still in like new condition, like every one I ever traded was, and have it repainted. It will be completely different, right? I mean, how many of us out there run out and buy brand new trucks just to change the color, right? I mean, I know there's people that do it. I mean, how many of us run out and buy new trucks that are the same color as the one that we had before? You know, I would venture to say that most people probably go for something else, and it's probably because they're a little bored with what they had, right? They want to change it up a little bit. You can do that for a heck of a lot less money and a lot shorter payments if you just refresh the truck that you have, right? Now, there are other little things that you can do on the interior. You know, I had done the center console cover, that customized lid cover that I have. That spruces up the interior tremendously. It looks awesome. And you can do that over and over again if you wanted to. I mean, it doesn't cost a fortune. You could do that several times before, I mean, many times, before you ever got anywhere near what it would cost you in trading off your current truck for a new one, right? How about a new shift knob? You know, I look down at that thing and I still like it. You know, when I get in the truck, it excites me, and these are the little things, you know, but it excites me to get in here and run through the gears with that new shift knob. And it's not new anymore. I mean, I've had it on the truck for, I guess, just months. But still, it's not like I got it yesterday. But it still excites me to get into the truck. Now, what about those little techie things, you know? Because obviously, if you've got an older or late model truck, it's not going to have the most recent things on it. But I got to tell you, there is an aftermarket out there for those things. You know, I'll use my Gladiator as an example. When I bought it, it had the 7.4, I think, something like that, inch radio screen. Well, I didn't like that because there's a bigger one out there, right? The 8.4 or 8 inch, whatever it is, which makes a big difference in your truck, right? So I bought it. I switched that out. So it is possible in the aftermarket world, and actually the one I got for the Gladiator is OEM, but it is possible to go ahead and add those features that maybe you want or that are missing from your truck that would save you tons of money in the form of not going out and financing something new for longer or putting more money down on something that, in essence, particularly with the Tacoma, is pretty much identical to what you have right now. Anyway, I just wanted to get on here, talk about that for a minute. I was thinking about this, again, really reflecting on myself and how much money I have spent on Tacomas over the years instead of just following my own advice now, and that would be just updating what I have in the form of mods or the addition of little gadgets and things that come on the new ones. Why not? Leave a comment. Let me know if you can relate to this. If you've gone out and bought new toys, new Tacomas, simply because you were bored or you wanted a different color maybe, or it didn't quite have enough gadgets on it compared to what you can get now. I'd be curious to know. Also, real quick, I have 2 other channels. If you're interested, check out RobMotive JT. It's all about my 2020 Jeep Gladiator and my newest edition, RobMotive Civic, which currently is all about my past Honda Civics, both the Civic Sport Hatch and the Honda Civic Type R, an awesome car, by the way. Don't forget to click that notification bell so that you don't miss out on any upcoming videos. And do me a favor, smash that subscribe button on the way out. Thanks for watching. Stay safe out there. Bye.